Hello again, and thanks for joining me for Healthblog. This year I'm teaching on toxic emotions, and this month my focus is upon anger. My title is Anger, Pain and Heart Disease, and the link between them. Now, pain is one of the great afflictions of mankind. It wears people out. And the medical profession now has even produced doctors who specialise in pain relief. Beforehand, there were just doctors for the heart and the lungs and so on, but now we have specialists dealing with pain relief, the symptoms. But what about the root of pain? Not the symptoms, but the root of pain. Research dating back to the 1970s has now determined a definite link between the level of pain in an individual and the stress factors in that person's life. Chronic back pain, for example, can last 10, 20, even 30 years or more, and can be attributed, of course, in part to crumbling vertebrae or herniated discs and other structural abnormalities. But it can be made worse by stress. Stress can restrict the blood vessels supplying the muscles of the back, and this makes the pain worse. Now, anger, of course, is a natural human emotion. When we feel that someone has violated our rights, we get angry, and rightly so. Jesus himself got angry and cleansed the temple on 2 occasions. So righteous anger is permissible and can be expressed. However, we must be careful not to let anger move into rage or fury, because those two can cause us to want to do physical harm to the people who are annoying us. So we need to express our anger in an appropriate way. The problem, however, gets worse when we suppress anger. Suppressed anger, we pretend everything is fine. You ask people, how are you? Well, I'm fine. And inside, they are seething. And anger inside has a devastating effect upon our health. It's been stuffed. It's there underneath, buried alive. Another point to make is that the media nowadays tends to portray many characters with a short fuse. Films and things like that, plays on television, they show people getting angry regularly. And of course, adults and children watch this entertainment, and of course they copy what they see. And no doubt you will have seen, like I have, dramas in the supermarket aisles where a child wants those sweets or wants those biscuits and wants them now, and throws a wobbly to get them. Now, what else does anger cause? Apart from pain, suppressed anger can cause devastating effects upon our health. It can cause us to be hostile, to have an attitude of hostility towards the world in general, a chip on our shoulder. A person can get irritated over very trivial circumstances. They become cynical and suspicious of other people's motives. They can't trust anybody. Now, hostility produces these stress hormones, and the heart is particularly affected. The blood vessels bringing blood to our heart, the coronary arteries, they are particularly susceptible to stress. The lining, the endothelium of these arteries can get damaged. And once the lining is damaged, a patch is put over the damage. And this patch is made of white blood cells, platelets, and fatty cholesterol. And we call this plaque, arterial plaque. And this fatty plaque can build up and stop the blood getting to our hearts. And we have a heart attack. Other problems with the heart are angina and arrhythmia, uneven heartbeat. pent-up rage can really lead to many an early death. And most hostile people know deep down that they live with a short fuse or a quick temper, or they're just very impatient, and they kind of excuse themselves with this kind of terminology. How do people cope with a hot temper and with anger that's suppressed? Well, usually through cigarettes and alcohol. These also have a very bad effect upon health. You will see stressed out individuals smoking or going to the pub and drinking a lot in order to cope with that anger that's inside. This is certainly not the remedy for Christian people. The Bible teaches us how to deal with anger. I want to give you some practical advice. Number one, if you got angry with someone, go back and apologize. Apologize for your part in it. Don't say, well, I'm sorry I did that, but you did that. No, just apologize and be humble about your part in the dispute. So number one, apologize quickly. Number two, ask God to forgive you for the outburst. Confess it as sin and receive your forgiveness, 1 John 1:9. Then get away to a quiet place and just let reason kick in. Say, well, why did I get so angry? It wasn't that big a deal. Why did you get so angry? Talk to yourself. That's a good thing to do. Then breathe deeply. Put your hand on your abdomen. Breathe deeply, at least 10 slow breaths. Thank God that he still loves you. Start praising God and saying, Father, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I know that you still love me, and be thankful to God. And then generally think about your lifestyle and try and incorporate some downtime into your schedule. So many people are so busy, and they take life so seriously. We can have fun now and again, and we need to have fun and relax. Recreation is so important. Anger and hostility do not have to control us and make us ill. And by God's grace and understanding what's going on inside, we can overcome this toxic emotion of anger and avoid the pain and the heart problems that go with it. So until next month, God bless you. Thanks for listening.